Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kay, and in today's video I'm going to be reading all your comments on my day as a monitor tech. Alright, so I have over 85 comments on that video, and what I'm going to do is just scroll through and I'm going to randomly pick different comments and I'm going to give shout outs and I'm going to answer your questions. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright, so first things first, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm really glad that it helped a lot of people, because you don't see a lot of these videos that give you insights on what it's like to be a monitor tech. So I like to do those kind of videos for those people that are considering this career. Alright, so let's go to the first comment. And also, one more thing, I'm going to be making another video where I give you my best tips and advice for this career. Okay, so stay tuned, and I will post that in the next couple of weeks, so keep watching. But the first comment is from Jada B. And she said, "Thank you so much. I couldn't find any recent videos about a monitor tech, and I've been thinking about doing this, but I am also so scared because I don't want anyone to die on me." I'm already a nervous person as it is. Okay, so I think when anyone starts out as a monitor tech, I think we're all scared. I think we're all nervous and we don't want to kill anyone, okay? Alright, so that is a valid concern, because it is possible, if you're not paying attention and you're being negligent, that you can actually kill someone. But I think if you're really paying attention and you make sure that you know your basic rhythms and you know your lethal rhythms, then you should be okay. Like, in the beginning you may get, frightened over every little sound that you hear or every squiggly line that you see on the screen. It may make you nervous. I remember there was a time when I first started where I thought someone was in VTAC. It was like a lot of artifacts. I guess they were moving around. And then, in the little box, I just saw squiggly lines like this. And I thought the person was in VTAC, and I got super nervous and I called the nurse. And then, when I pulled it up on the screen, it was just all artifacts, and I felt really stupid, and I had to call the nurse back and be like, yeah, it's just artifacts. So, of course I felt dumb, but hey, I always say better safe than sorry. So if you're nervous about anything, just call the nurse and just keep at it. It'll get easier with time. Alright, so the next comment says, I'm going for monitor tech certification. Great video. That was from K Brown. Thank you. And go for it. It's a good career, or a good career starter. Next comment is from Alexis Trends. She said, "I'm going for certification January 2020 after being a stay-at-home mom and wife for almost 5 years. Looking for a start into a medical career. Love your videos." Okay, so I think this is a great start. It's definitely something that you can get into and then get into other things. I think if you want to do nursing, it's really good to learn how to read EKGs really well, or even other careers. It's great knowledge, and then you can always build from there. So, good luck with your career and going back into medicine. Alright, so someone else said, CI said, "You are an EMT. Did you need that for this job, or was EKG tech enough?" Okay, so for me, I didn't get this job because I was an EMT, and in fact, you can't really get this job with an EMT certification. You need at least a paramedic certification, because in the field as an EMT, you're not dealing a lot with EKGs. So as a paramedic, you will be doing a lot of EKGs, but as an EMT, you won't. And for this position, they just want someone with a background, a cardiac background. Okay, so if you were a paramedic, you can probably try and see if the hospital will let you take the test and see if they'll hire you. But as an EMT, unfortunately, it wouldn't work out. I got the job because I'm a float patient care tech at the hospital, and it's just an area that I trained in. Okay, I took a 4-week class, I passed it, and then I got trained to do that position. So that's how I got it. All right, so ENS Academy said, I am a director at blah blah blah.com. I showed this to a couple of our students and they loved it. Thank you for sharing your story. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, next comment is Nicole Chambers, and she said, thank you for this video. I'm really thinking about getting EKG certified. I can see you love your job and thank you for all the info. So yes, you know, I really don't mind being a monitor tech or being in the monitor room. I think it's like a chill job, you know, it's easy for the most part, you know, so I don't mind doing it. Let's see. Baby G said, just finished my EKG/tele class and got my certification, but I'm afraid of applying for monitor tech jobs as I'm not completely secure in identifying all rhythms. As of now, I'm only applying for EKG tech positions. Is there anything you would say I can do better in identifying rhythms? Thank you very much. Okay, so in order to get better at these rhythms, you just have to practice, and you have to like play games. You know, there's 2 websites that I would recommend, and that's skillstat.com and practiceclinicalskills.com. These are 2 websites that I use in my EKG videos. Like, go watch some of my EKG videos where I'm teaching you how to read an EKG strip. You know, I actually got permission from these companies to use their material, and I use them in my videos because I think they're like the best resources. You know, you can play games and you can identify the strip, and it'll give you like a detailed explanation of why that strip is what it is. Okay, so definitely go to those 2 websites and just keep practicing, you know. And I would say apply to those monitor tech jobs because not a lot of people know how to do it. So you have a really great chance of getting a monitor tech job. You know, it just depends on when a job really needs to fill a position. So I would say keep applying. Even if it takes months, keep applying. I would apply for both EKG tech positions and monitor tech positions, because as long as you have the training and you can pass the test that they have you take at the hospital, then hey, you know, you can definitely get into this field if the opportunity presents itself. And also, I think it's a great idea to apply to assisted living facilities or just places outside the hospitals that would hire monitor techs. That way you'll get some experience and it'll be much easier for you to get a job at the hospital. Alright, so the next comment is from Valerie Perez, and she said, I'm almost done with my certificate for EKG tech, but I hardly know the rhythms. When you start working at a hospital, when you go to print the strip, does it have what type of rhythm it is, or do you actually have to interpret them? Okay, so your job as the monitor tech is to actually print out the rhythms from the monitor. So you have to measure everything. There's built-in calipers in the monitors. What you're doing is dragging the calipers, just like the practice strips that I do every week. You can go look at previous strips that I've done, but that's really the exact same thing that I'm doing as a monitor tech. I'm just basically dragging the calipers, you know, measuring the P wave, measuring the QRS, the QT, the R to R. And once I'm done measuring that, I hit print, and it's going to print out a rhythm. So you have to look through and find a good rhythm and measure it and then print it out, and then you interpret it. Okay, so you're going to get a printout with different numbers on there. So based on the numbers and based on what you're seeing as the rhythm, then you'll be able to interpret it. And I think it really just gets easier with time. I mean, of course, you have to know the basics and you have to know the lethal rhythm. So that's the V-tach, V-fib, asystole. You know, you have to know all of that because, you know, someone can die. Someone can die if you don't know those rhythms. So really, you should make sure that you know like the most important ones and the basic ones. I mean, there are times when I learned certain things that I wasn't taught in the EKG course. Okay, because everyone's heart is different, and you know, they teach you the basics, the sinus rhythms, junctional, the heart blocks, all that. It's important for you to know it. But if you don't know it, or you look at something and you're like, okay, what am I looking at? You can always ask. You know, it's better to ask than to make something up just because you don't want to look stupid. Okay, that's how you learn. You know, if you know the basics, you pass the course, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get really good at reading EKGs. Okay, but as long as you know the basics, you're good. All right, so CI said, if you are an EKG tech, is it a good idea to get your CNA or EMT too? Okay, so really, I would just do one thing at a time. You know, unless you know for sure you want to get into EMS or nursing or whatever, I think that you should just do one thing, get the job, you know, apply everywhere, get a job doing that one thing, and then decide later, do I want to go spend money to do CNA work or become an EMT? So, you know, once you get settled and you're working as, you know, a monitor tech or EKG tech, then you can decide what the next step is. But you don't want to do a million things at once. You know, that could be costly, and it's just not a good idea. So just do one thing at a time. All right, so Life of X commented and said, you're a monitor tech, not a patient care tech no more. Okay, so I am a monitor tech and a patient care tech. So basically, you know, I told you guys that I'm a float patient care tech. So I work in different areas of the hospital. I'm not just stationed in one location. Okay, so basically the monitor room is just like a certain area that I'm trained for. I'm trained as a monitor tech. So I'm not doing that every single day. It's just something that I get floated to do every now and then if they need someone. So basically I'm like a fill-in person. Okay, so Valerie Perez commented again, and she said, when they say to interpret the rhythm, do they mean the 5-step approach? Okay, I'm not really sure what the 5-step approach is, but I think people have their own methods. You know, I may interpret it a certain way and you may interpret it your own way, but we are going to get to the same conclusion most likely. I created my own step and my own methods to interpret in EKG rhythms, so make sure you go watch that video, because I basically teach you my mind frame when I'm looking at a rhythm and how I analyze it. So make sure that you go watch that video to learn how I do that. Okay, so Jane Telsey said, hi, I've watched your video, that's really helpful. I'm about to take my national exam to become a certified EKG tech. I'd like to ask if you have any resources that you can refer to me about HIPAA. I was taking a practice test and I realized most of the tests concern safety. Do you have any suggestions? Now, I don't really know anything about EKG tech and what they go over as far as HIPAA is concerned, but HIPAA really is just a law that says you can't share patient care information, you know, so it is about safety. So that means that you're not going to go and share the patient's information with people that are not a part of their care. You know, as a monitor tech, sometimes you'll have patients that want to inquire about their loved ones and ask, okay, how's my mom doing or whatever, but we can't tell them that, you know, because as a monitor tech, you do have to keep that patient's information private. And even when I do my YouTube videos, I make sure that I'm not violating HIPAA by being very careful what I put on here. You know, I want to make my videos very educational, but I don't want to violate anyone's privacy. And you can actually get sued for that. So I'm very, very careful, and you have to be careful too with what you share with others and what you share on the internet. Okay, so that's really all I know about HIPAA as far as the EKG tech certification is concerned. Okay, so Georgia Gumar, I don't know how to say that name, said, is the pay good? Okay, so the pay really, I wouldn't say it's great. Now, it could be great depending on where you live. Now, where I live, I wouldn't say it's great at all if you just came in as a monitor tech. Okay, I had a coworker that lived up north, and she said the pay was great. Okay, she was getting between $18 and $20 per hour. But the state that I live in, I looked it up, and basically the average is about $12 for monitor tech jobs. Okay, so it's 25% lower than the national average. Okay, and I know most people start off between $11 and $13 per hour in my area. Okay, at my job they bumped it up to like I think $13 minimum. Okay, so it really just depends, but it's really, I wouldn't say it's a high paying job, but I think with more experience you'll definitely get paid more money like any other job. Okay, so Baby G said, do you think an EKG course of only 6 days is enough to learn about it? Honestly, like the course I took was like 4 weeks, but it was like 4 days. It was like once a week, like I think it was like 4 hours once a week for 4 weeks. So I mean, I think a 6-day course could be enough, but you have to study. You know, you can learn all this information in the class, but if you're not studying outside of the class, then you're really not going to learn the information. So I think it just depends on how much you study, but a 6-day course could be enough, but you just got to study and use those websites I keep talking about so you can practice. Okay. All right, so Raquel Galvin said, hi Kay, do you know any website links that would help me interpret EKG rhythms? Okay, so I suggest that you watch my videos because I think my videos are great, because I'm really giving you my perspective and showing you how I analyze these rhythms. So go in my EKG and monitor tech section on YouTube, you know, go to my playlist and just watch all those videos. I show you how to do it and how I would measure it on the monitor. And you can go to those 2 websites, and I'm going to put the links below this video, and I think those are 2 great websites where you can learn the information and also play a game. So I would definitely suggest you visit those websites. Al said, hi Kay, I really enjoy your videos. I am looking for a second career at 65. Just wondering if you think that it is too old to start out as an EKG tech. I am a former EMT, 1980, several CPR classes, and taught CPR in the Navy. Just wanted your opinion. Thanks a lot, Al. Okay, so first things first, you know, I don't think 65 is too old. You know, I think being too old has nothing to do with monitor tech, but I think that you have to ask yourself, am I fit for this job? Because this is a job where you have to sit for, you know, 11.5 hours. You know, you do get breaks, so I'm not going to say 12, but you know, you have to sit for a long period of time, and also you're going to have to look up at a screen all day. Like, are you going to be able to stay awake, and are you going to be able to focus? You know, if you're able to do that, and you're able to deal with all the sounds and the noise and the blinking on the screen, then I would say you're fit for the job. You know, I actually knew someone who had a stroke. You know, they were at the monitors and they had a stroke, and I don't think it was because of the monitors. It was really because of their own health issues. So if you have like certain health issues, I wouldn't suggest having a job like that where you're sitting all day and looking at a monitor, you know, especially for that long period of time. But you know, like 65 is what, the new 50? You know, I think really age is a number sometimes. You know, sometimes you can look fit and be in good shape even if you're like in your 60s. I don't think that's too old. It just depends on you as a person and what you can handle. Because I mean, there's people that's like my age, in their 20s or in their 30s, that couldn't do the job of a monitor tech. So I say if you're into it, go for it. Just give it a try. If it doesn't work out, then oh well. But I don't think you should ever limit yourself in life. Alright guys, so my camera is giving up on me. My battery's about to die. So I'm going to end this video here. And if you didn't see your comment, just keep commenting and I will make more videos like this in the future, you know, giving you guys shout outs. And I really do appreciate you guys subscribing and watching. And make sure that if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications, because I will be making another video about monitor tech, the monitor tech position, where I give you advice about this career. Okay, if you are already a monitor tech, I'm going to give you some helpful advice, and that's it. All right, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.